all scared. We're all scared about some of this stuff that's going on, and we're just looking forward to hearing what you've got to say about it.
California Governor Gavin Newsom has just completed a 2-day tour of South Carolina, visiting the historically Republican parts of the state and urging Democrats to consider how they can best repair the Democratic Party brand and provide a vision for the future.
Leader, I appreciate what you just said. You sort of distilled the essence of why I think you're all here and why I'm here as well. This notion of fear, this sort of sense of disequilibrium, that things just ain't right. There's been this stacking of stress all of us have gone through, going back through the pandemic, racial unrest, recessions, supply chains, global challenges, wars.
A little over 6 months since Donald Trump returned to the White House, and while it's too early to say whether Mr. Newsom will throw his hat in the ring for the 2028 presidential race, it sure sounds like he plans to, as he urged members of the South Carolina Democratic Party to spend more time in Republican parts of the state, which he said aren't so dissimilar from where he grew up in Dutch Flat, California, in Placer County.
Maybe one of the reddest counties in America. That's where I grew up with my dad. Small town, Main Street. They just have the 4th of July parade. You go around about 35 times because it's only 2 blocks. Got to get a little exhausted with each other.
Mr. Newsom said his upbringing in Placer County gave him a consciousness that people aren't quite so divided as we're led to believe, and he wants to tap into that.
There's this notion that somehow West Coast and East Coast don't get the rest of the country, which is such nonsense. And so I think it's really important for Democrats that we spend time in parts of our state, parts of our country, that frankly we haven't spent enough time in.
Before he began his tour, the response from the South Carolina Republican Party to Mr. Newsom's visit, U-Haul's 2024 report says it all. People are leaving California and heading here. He's following the trucks, but we're not buying what he's selling. Gavin Newsom isn't the first Democrat this year to provoke speculation of a presidential run. Pete Buttigieg held a town hall in Iowa a couple of months ago, while J.B. Pritzker spoke at an event in New Hampshire in April.
There's also no natural front runners in the Democratic Party. They kind of have a spotty bench.
I need some coffee.
During his tour of South Carolina, the California governor also put the boot into Donald Trump and what he called Trumpism. Mr. Newsom said that what he'd predicted would happen when he visited the state last year, should Mr. Trump return to the White House, had turned out to be far worse.
I was here a year ago talking about the fact that you had a president of the United States, or at least former president that was running again, who wanted to put America in reverse, wanted to bring us back to a pre-1960s world. On voting rights, civil rights, LGBTQ rights, on women's rights, not just access to abortion, but access to contraceptive care. Whoa. Little did I know. Feels more like 1860s, not 1960s.
That same day, during a cabinet meeting at the White House, President Trump didn't mention Gavin Newsom by name, but he did say this.
You look at California, they have blackouts and brownouts every week. They're totally out of control. They have a really incompetent governor.
Mr. Newsom, meanwhile, slammed the president on a variety of issues, including the ongoing immigration crackdown in Los Angeles, which happened to coincide with what Mr. Newsom called the 6-month anniversary of the most devastating winter fires in American history.
You know what he decided to do? He decided to bring the military to MacArthur Park, in one of the most diverse communities in Los Angeles, on horseback in American flags, and parade himself through the middle of soccer fields where kids were at camp. That's the country we're living in here today if we don't push back.
When you lose 25,000 houses and you would have had your cities burned down. If we didn't step in, Los Angeles would have been burned to the ground.
Fox News reports that Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin will be speaking at Republican events in South Carolina later this summer. But it's refreshing to see one of the potential opposition candidates for 2028 accepting that the Democratic Party approach has to change.
The question is, how do we not only repair the party brand, but repair this nation, and how do we move from a defensive posture to an inspiring vision?